On Air with Cash. Our guest today is a comedian, actor, host, and Emmy award-winning producer. You can catch him on Affion Crockett Presents Microphone Masters, now available live on Xfinity and Xumo Play. Please welcome the great Ron G.
Brr, 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 brr. Hey, what's up, Cash? How you doing, bro? What's going on?
Ron, so great to talk to you. I know our paths have crossed a few times. I've seen you've played regularly around town, and we actually got to meet officially at the premiere of Microphone Masters, which you are one of the leading comedians of. And it's such a small world because when I started in the industry, I had done some acting when I was a kid, and I started working at WME right after college. And Affion, I worked with one of his agents. I was sending Affion a lot of his scripts like early
Oh
on.
man, that's dope. That's
When
dope.
I started through WME, I was able to do some producing, and eventually I was packaging some deals with some comedians and doing some pilots. So I took a stab at comedy as well, and then that got me into the podcasting world because we go to the comedy stores, and I was just fascinated to watch comedians get up there, take a chance, and just
Yeah.
express their minds. And the way that you do it is especially. I mean, you have
Thank you,
such an
man.
articulate way, and I mean,
How did it
how did this?
go? You didn't say how it went. You said you took a stab at it. What happened? How'd it go?
I started it. I did a stunt class and a stand-up class 2 months before like everything closed for the pandemic. So
Yeah.
we started the class in person, and then the pandemic happened, so we were locked in. So we did it via Zoom, and so my first show was a Zoom. So I think it was.
No way. That's
Yeah,
tough, bro. That's
that's
tough. That's how I was making my money during the quarantine, man. I did a bunch of Zoom corporate shows because everybody employees were like on lockdown. So
yeah.
I did a bunch of like corporate Zoom shows. I got paid great money to perform in my pajamas.
Oh, that's awesome. You're from the South. My dad lives down in Florida. I got family in Tennessee and Texas, and
Nice.
you have a business degree, and then you got into comedy. You've just been killing it.
Yeah, man. So I started out being an accountant. My first job out of college, I was an accountant, and I'm pretty sure I got fired from every job I ever had, and it was bad. It was real bad because I'm a accountant by trade and can't even do my own taxes, which it was awful. But I went through what I call the quarter life crisis, where you go to school for something and when you finally start doing it, you like know there's more, but you don't know what it is. And my cousin was a comic in Atlanta, and he's probably one of the funniest people that I know and in my family. And he was like, dude, like you should try getting on stage. And I'm like, okay, I try it. And I got on stage, I got booed. They told me to kill myself, and I fell in love, man. And I've been sticking with it ever since.
Really? So it was those heckles were just that motivated you to be like, no, this is what I'm doing. I'm going for it.
I don't even know if it was a heckle. It was like assault. Like I don't know what it was. Like to get booed and then they tell you to kill yourself in the same room. It was bad, man. But I just stuck with it. And I think too, it's kind of like when you play sports. I don't know if you ever play sports like that, but if you play basketball and you get dunked on, there's a feeling after that. You like, I don't know if I want to join the band or keep doing this. Or when you play football and you get knocked out during practice, you like, I don't know if I want to join the orchestra or keep doing this. But for me, because I'm an athlete by trade, like I fell in love. I'm like, I know there's more, and I just kept working my craft until I figured it out.
Oh, that's incredible. I know, and I so know what you mean. I mean, with sports, because I studied martial arts growing up. So it's just you get that, you get knocked down,
Right,
you get
absolutely.
that. Yeah.
And you learn by giving. Like I do kung fu, sensu as well. But like you can't be good at it and try to be in your head. You got to be present. So if somebody punch you, you got to watch the punch. You can't be like, I'm gonna just move to my right because the punch might be a hook, and then you go to the direction of the punch. So you got to be present. So and comedy is the same way. And I also feel like comedy is listening. Really good comedians, they're great at listening. So you got to know, like the crescendo when the laughs go up before it goes down. You hit them with the next joke and just stay up here the whole time.
That's incredible. I know because even just a lot of your observational comedy as well too. I mean, I won't give any of your jokes. So we got to go pay to see Ron G and see his shows and watch his YouTube videos to know exactly what I'm talking about. But I mean, just the observations about relationships and even like what guys go through. It's very relatable, and you have a very unique perspective on things. I really enjoy your humor.
Thank you, man. It's pain mixed in that ingredient. I had to go through some stuff to get that perspective, man. But I think at some point, as adults, you have to be a student of life and be a student of yourself. And I try to update my software after all my heartbreaks. And I have a lot of friends. I feel like I'm the friend that everybody comes to, and I got the answers to everybody else's test, but I never had the answers to mine. So that's kind of how I got to that conclusion, man. With a lot of my content, man. But I love relationship stuff. That's my jam.
Oh, exactly. And it's interesting you said that too, because even you said, you were accountant, but you couldn't do your own taxes. I'm like that too. There's certain things like I've gotten degrees in, or I'm no, but it's like I know how to even like manage other people, but then with myself, that's the challenge. And then it is growing and taking those experiences to move us forward.
Right. And also, like, you're a visionary too. Like, you see things in people and you try to put the thing that you see in them with the thing you see in the world and put those two things together. But sometimes when it's your own life, it's hard to, like, I want to do this. You can have an idea of it, but the world gives you back whatever you give it. You know what I'm saying? So you're not in control of that.
Oh, exactly. You've made appearances on a Martin Lawrence's First Amendment comics, Unleashed. You've done Chelsea lately. Kevin Hart presents The Next Level. What was your process? You've worked with the top comedians in the world.
I've done some cool stuff, man. So when I left Atlanta, uh, I just knew I was supposed to be in LA. And I didn't know anybody here. And I met one of my frat brothers who lived here. And he was like, "What you doing here, man?" And I was like, "Hey, I just got a job in Culver City. I'm trying to find a place to stay." And he was like, "That's crazy. I just bought a condo in Culver City. If you're looking for a place to stay, you can stay with me." And I found out it was literally like less than half a mile from where he stayed at, my first job in LA. And then I got fired from that job. But I wound up getting a audition to be a spokesperson for a restaurant, like Checkers and Rallies. I don't know if you know what that is, the restaurant Checkers and Rallies. I think it's called
Okay, yeah,
Rallies
yeah. No, I've heard of it.
on the
Yeah.
East Coast and Checkers out here. But I had an audition while I was working in Long Beach as an accountant, and I lied and told my boss my car broke down, and I went to the audition, and then I found out I got it. And the lady was like, "Can you go to Miami next week?" And I was like, "Ew, like it's the most I ever paid for rent. I don't know if I want to just quit my job like that for this dream." And the lady was like, "Well, they love you, and just let me know if you can make it to Miami." And I was like, "My mom was coming in town," and I was like, "I don't know if I can do it, man." And the lady was like, "Look, you don't want to turn this down to be a spokesperson for a commercial, like for a restaurant. You don't want to turn this down. So call my mom." I was like, "Hey, mom, I know you're coming next week, but do you mind if I have somebody look after you while I shoot these commercials?" And she was like, "Isn't that why you moved out here?" And I was like, "Okay." So I had to talk to my boss. And I talked to my boss and I was like, "Hey, Miss Mary, I know I haven't been here long, but I was wondering if I can take off next week to shoot these 6 commercials." And she was like, "I'm gonna just say this. If you're not here next week, you're fired." And that was that gut moment of, are you gonna depend on your talent? Or are you gonna trust what you know, you know what I'm saying? Like
Oh,
I
yeah.
guess what the American dream is. You go to school, you get a job, you get married, you make babies, you retire, you die. Which one are you gonna choose? And I chose myself, man. And I have not worked a 9 to 5 since then. That's when, after that happened, I did a show called Bill Bellamy's Who's Got Jokes. After that, somebody saw me on that. Then I wound up doing Last Comic Standing, and then I wound up doing Martin Lawrence First Amendment, and just stuck with it, man. So I've been pretty blessed to make a living, and this is all I do for a living, doing stand up and acting and a bunch of other cool stuff.
That's incredible. I mean, and I just love hearing those stories where it was like and it always comes down to that. It's like, my rent's due, I got this job. What's it going to be? And then I feel like life always presents that one challenge to you. I started in the agency, but I was lucky enough to where it started opening up opportunities where, I was working with some people and, they had some fan bases. It was right when social media was taking off. So I understood publicity, and then I was able to do production, and then I started getting offering roles. But it was just, I remembered right when I did like my first movie, everything just kind of lined up and it was just like, it was the end of this chapter, and I kind of walked away from what was comfortable, and then it was just taking that leap into what made me happy.
But the cool thing, what you said, is usually the route that you take gives you the ingredients and things you need for when you cross over and become the talent. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I was corporate, I know how to talk to people. I'm very particular about being on time. Like, I don't like being late. And I wrote some of my best jokes while I was at that 9 to 5, man. So it was all a part of the process.
Oh, exactly. I mean, I wouldn't just even with producing and acting. I mean, I'm just like you, where it took like getting that corporate job for that self-discipline. You understand all sides. You understand what the agents are going through, what the producers are, and what the other actors are going through. So you're a businessman and you know what works and how to treat
Oh,
people
absolutely. And
and
Hollywood is literally
yeah,
all business. I'm gonna say it's about 20% talent and 80% business.
exactly.
And that's the part that people really don't do well. Like, I feel like as long as you're like not an a-hole and you're like kind of people, you'll always work. But that business side is what people don't really focus on. They focus on the talent. And the talent part is cool. And I'm blessed that I've done the work, but that other side is probably just as important.
You said it. Microphone Masters, it's on Xfinity now. How did you link up with Affion and develop this?
Man, a few things. Well, Delmar was the director for it, and I've met Delmar like a long time ago. Like I think when he was just a PA, and we were always like, man, we should work on something, you know. And I've known Afion for a while. He's a class act, a gentleman, just a nice guy, man. And Nichelle Murdoch, who was like the booker for it, or casting, she gave me my first job as a host in Hollywood, you know, at the Comedy Store. She has a show called Crack 'em Up Thursdays, and that was my first hosting gig ever. And I've always worked with her, and she's just been so sweet to me. But I remember the day I got the call, like, "Hey, would you like doing this show?" And I was like, "Wait, I got Delmar, I got Nichelle, I got Affion, and then the lady named Sylvia. She's one of the producers on there as well. Just all good people." I was like, "There's no way I can't not do this." It was just all the people who were like from all my journey through LA on one show, and I was like, "I have to do it." And I was so excited when they called me, and it just really, really, man, it was. I feel like it was a very divine moment when they called me.
Oh, I'll bet. And I mean, look, I mean, we were just celebrating last week when it's available now for everyone to watch on Xfinity.
Yeah, Comcast Xfinity and Xumo Play. I think Xumo is a free streaming service that they give you if you have Comcast or Xfinity. But Xumo Play, and just type in Microphone Masters on the TV shows. And mine is season 1, episode 1.
Brilliant. And what else do you have going on? Are you developing anything new, or do you have any upcoming shows you want to let people know about?
Yeah, I have so much cool stuff happening. I'm in the 80 for Brady movie.
Yes,
Tom
yes.
Brady's, I think it was debut production movie. If you don't have it on a streaming service, you can definitely watch it on the plane. And if you don't watch it on the plane, I don't know what to tell you. But I was number 4 on the call sheet with Lily Tomlin, Rita Moreno, and Jane Fonda. I was number 4 on the call sheet in that movie. I'm on HBO's Insecure, which it's now currently on Netflix. You can check that out. I got a couple movies that I'm scheduled to shoot in April and May that I'm very, very excited about. And of course, it's special, man. So a lot of things are happening.
Beautiful. I love it. And then are you doing any live performances, touring at all?
Oh, absolutely. I'm not touring, but I am. I just got passed at the Comedy Store as well, which is a big deal. So my name is on the side of that building. We're doing the ceremony like sometime in June.
Okay.
But yeah, performing all over LA, and I usually host on Sundays at the Laugh Factory, show called Chocolate Sundays. I'm there like twice a month now, but it's a really good time, and it's probably one of the best live shows in LA.
I love it. I'm definitely going to be linking up with you soon and coming and seeing your shows. Is there anything else that you would like to say to your fans out there? Or anything else you want people to know?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm glad you asked. So listen, man, this comedy special is super dope, man. This is I call it the crock pot, where people been doing comedy for a while, but people are like, where'd that guy come from? I've been here the whole time, and my comedy has been on simmer, and you get a chance to see it, man. So make sure you check it out, Microphone Masters. Like I said, Comcast Xfinity, and you can go on Xumo Play, type in Microphone Masters, and you'll see my face. Season 1, episode 1, man, and it's probably my greatest piece of work, and I can't wait for y'all to check it out. And also follow me, comedian Ron G on everything, comedian RONG. I just dropped my podcast with my wife called Q&A with Bay. It's on YouTube, Q&A with Bay. It's all spelled out, and I'm really excited about that. And I have a kids mixtape. So I have a 1-year-old little one, and I love hip hop, but most of the stuff I listen to, he can't listen to. So I have a kids mixtape that I did that I would love for you to check out. And if you just type in It's Jeezy Baby, ITZGZBaby.com, which is my rap name, it's Jeezy Baby. It's called Milk Wasted, and it's for the babies, man. So I would love for you to check it out. Again, Q&A with Bay on YouTube. It's Jeezy Baby, which is the Milk Wasted Milk mixtape, and my comedy special, which is out now on Xumo Play on Comcast Xfinity.
You heard it from him, the great Ron G. You can see him on 80 for Brady on all streaming services. Watch him on Microphone Masters on Comcast Xfinity, and Q&A with Bay, his new podcast. I mean, Ron, it is just so good to talk to you. I'm really an admirer of your work. I'm so happy for your success. You continue to amaze everyone, and I'm definitely going to be coming by the store and the Laugh Factory and seeing you live, buddy. Thank you
Man,
so
please
much.
do, man. And again, if you can't do any of those things, just follow me, comedian Ron G on everything, comedian RONG, and there's a link to everything I just mentioned. And Cash, man, absolute pleasure, bro.
It's always a pleasure, sir. Hey, no, really, I mean, your career's only going to go higher from here. You're on a roll. You keep it up. And anytime you want to drop in and chat and let us know what you're up to, you got an open invite, my friend.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you.